Hello and welcome to the European Tour's Life on Tour podcast presented by Hilton with me, Kirsty Gallagher, bringing you conversations with key figures from around the world of golf. Welcome, Andy. Thank you so much for doing this today. Now, everyone knows you as Beef, and I realised, obviously you're a friend of mine, I never call you Beef. I don't know, do you mind that? Do you mind people calling you Beef?
Nah, 90% of people do. All my friends do and stuff, so it's like completely normal. And I find it a bit odd now when people say my real name.
Do you?
Like, yeah, sometimes I'll be walking in the street and someone shout like, Andrew, and I'll be like, just carry on walking and they come up, I get a tap and I'll be like, oh, yeah.
You?
Yeah, me.
I love that. Let's talk about that name, that nickname, for those that don't know where it came from. Just explain the story.
It came all the way back when I was a kid. I was about 13 at the time and I had a big head of like curly hair. And one of my friends was playing another hole at our home course, North Mid, and was just like, look at you and your big head. It's like, you've got a big bit of beef on your head. You've got a beef head, like that. And obviously he told everyone at the golf club, it kind of stuck, and that was it.
And you didn't mind it?
I was just like chilled about it.
You're so chilled anyway.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, call me what you want, I'm not fussed.
But I mean, what about animal rights groups and those, anything, come from anyone having any problem with that nickname?
So yeah, well, I'd say it's got to be, yeah, it must be the end of 2016 that happened. I think I got a message on Twitter and then an email from PETA saying, like, we know your nickname's Beef, would you consider changing it to Tofu for animal rights?
Tofu?
Tofu.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
I had to read it like 3 or 4 times because I was like, someone's winding me up here. I was like, this is not real. And I went and got it like looked at. I was like, is this actually real?
Oh my goodness.
And then they sent me like load of like vegan,
meals. Or tofu, yeah.
Yeah, all different
and what did
tofu
you do with
things.
That?
I didn't eat it.
Chucked
but
it in the bin.
I just like kindly said, look, my name's got nothing to do with the animal. I was like, it's because of this why I'm called Beef, so I don't need to change it.
That is hilarious. I might change your name in my phone to Tofu now.
You might as well, yeah.
It's quite funny that. Now let's talk about the fact that I met you 3 years ago, 2016, around about just after the Open. And obviously the Open at Royal Troon was where you really came onto the scene with a brilliant week. At that time, could you believe it? I mean, what was that week like again? When you reflect a couple of years on, how did it feel?
It was just crazy. I mean, yeah, from going from winning Spain, I didn't think anything. I made one comment and said, I just want to go and get hammered with my mates. I really didn't think it was a big thing. And next thing, apparently got played loads in America. So I went out to US Open and there was sort of a bit of attention there. But when I got to Open and it was the Saturday, it was on that Saturday. It was just like, I remember you walk under the stand and as soon as I got out on the tee, everyone just shouting Beef. And I was like, this is mental. And like the whole way round and then again on the Sunday and like walking down 18 Saturday, Sunday there was just like the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And yeah, it was one of them weird things where my phone was just going crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Like Twitter and Instagram must have gone up about 60, 70,000 in 2 days. And like, it was just going absolutely crazy. And I can't explain what happened. It's still surreal. And it's just one of them weeks that was just strange.
And obviously, you alluded to that win at Valderrama, the Open d'Espagne, which was your first European Tour win, but then doing well at the Open. What is so special about the Open?
It's the history of the tournament. It's the size of the tournament. It's the one everyone wants to win, especially being British. It's everyone wants to win, and everyone I think as a kid dreams of having that putt to win the Open and stuff like that. So it's like the most special tournament for us Brits.
And of course, we've just witnessed one of the best Opens ever with Shane Lowry, the Irishman, winning at Royal Portrush. You missed by just a shot, was that right? You missed the cut by a shot, which must have been frustrating, but was it brilliant to be there?
Yeah, of course. After not expecting to be in and kind of having a good week the week before, ideally, I wanted to go and take advantage of getting in and try and finish up high, you know. That was the goal, but it'd been a long stretch and I was wary of that. That was my 5th week in a row. I just didn't play as well as I wanted. I thought I sort of scrapped it really well, gave myself a chance 18 to get a weekend. Didn't happen, but it's all good. But yeah, so happy for Shane. When I saw it on the Saturday, score on the Saturday, and realised I actually drove home because we were in Scotland. I got the ferry across.
Did you?
Yeah, and then got the ferry back from Dublin at 2 a.m. to make the boxing on the Saturday night. And someone in the crowd shouted, "Who do you think is going to win the golf?" And I was like, I haven't even looked at the scores. And saw Shane was leading by 4, and I was like, oh, amazing, because he's a good friend of mine, and he's one of the great lads out there, and I've known him since junior days. So to see him 4 shots ahead was just like, this is amazing. And obviously he's got that support there. So Sunday morning, I was sort of looking through some highlights and stuff, and looked through his interview and seeing the crowds and stuff. And I was like, I just hope he goes out and does the business.
And he did, by 6 shots.
I mean, what a performance.
Incredible. And I think, as you just said there, he's a very popular guy on tour, isn't he, Shane?
Yeah, massively popular, and you can just see all the celebrations. I've been following it in the last week and stuff, and it's
Do you
just
think he's
been
still got
amazing.
a hangover?
Definitely. I'll be disappointed if he hasn't.
Oh,
And that knowing Shane, I think he had a big party for winning in Abu Dhabi, and I was like, yeah, you can multiply that by 100 or so.
On social media, have you seen? I'm sure you have, because you're good on social media. Him with, he's got the claret jug and it's in the background. I'm thinking, oh my God, it's worrying about where you'll put it as well if you've had a few drinks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there must have been someone designated driver, basically, or someone to hold the trophy for him.
Make sure your eyes are locked on that jug.
Yeah, he'd have been smashed, I reckon. But, I mean, you've got to celebrate something like that.
Of course you do.
As well, and you see the support, and yeah, that video clip I saw him in his hometown was just amazing. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. I think it was one of those great wins for definite. And also, I think, I want to get your view on your thoughts of how good you think that win was for sort of British golf, Irish golf, golf in general. We want more youngsters getting into it, don't we? Yeah,
definitely. I think it's a real good positive move that he's won that, and it can only attract more people. It cannot do any harm, and to see again, normal guy win the Open, I think it's great, and I think it will appeal to a lot of families, a lot of kids, and I think there'll be a lot of players all around Britain, Ireland, a lot of kids going out to play and really getting involved. I think it's so good for golf.
Absolutely. Because how did you get into golf?
My dad played lots.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, but it was just normal. He played a lot, my cousin played a lot, so I got into it at a young age. He used to take me, my brother, my sister over to local pitch and putts, and we used to go and play, and that was it. Yeah, I was just hooked on it from about 4 or 5 years old.
Did you know that you wanted to be a golfer?
It was one of the weird things I didn't think about. I just carried on playing, joined North Mid when I was 9, got into Middlesex County, I think I was about 12, 13, and then sort of did some of the coaching there, started playing the junior tournaments, got through into England boys set up, and it was just one of them kind of steps, and I didn't really think about it probably till I was about 18, 19, really.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And did you feel that it was, at that time, going to be an easy ride or difficult? Where were you at with your sort of looking into the future?
It was all kind of going to plan until I lost my dad when I was 17, and I had a bit of a moment where I was like, I don't know if I'm going to play anymore. My mum's sister helped out, and I played the last year of junior golf. And to be honest, I didn't like the men's England setup.
Why was that?
It just didn't create the fun. It was a lot more serious and didn't create the fun the boys stuff did. And I wasn't enjoying it. And at that time, I was a bit lost. I was working in the pro shop at North Mid for a little bit, helping out one of the guys who was a builder at the golf club as well. And I didn't know what to do. And that's where, I met my old manager, basically. And he was like, he goes, why don't you turn pro, see what happens? Started playing the mini tour stuff and did all right, and sort of just gradually worked my way up from there. I had a crazy year, 2011, where I was supposed to be playing a Euro Pro Tour event, and I was playing in the Pro-Am, and I got a message saying I'm first reserve for a Challenge Tour event. And I was like, kept my phone on, finally got in, and I said, look, I've got to go. Left, went straight to Austria, and I finished third there.
Great.
And got into the next week, and I made the cut, and I didn't get another start for ages, but the top 100 on the Order of Merit got me into a tournament in Russia and Kazakhstan, these two tournaments, and I finished, I think, 12th there and second. And all of a sudden, I was really close to getting a European Tour card. While that was going on, I managed to get into the Open at St George's, and it all kind of just kicked off from there, and finished third last tournament of the season, grand final in Italy, and got a spot European Tour for 2012. And all of a sudden, it just flipped like that. And next thing I was, I was sort of, playing European Tour out of nowhere.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great story. Do you think there is enough support for those players that maybe, I mean, if you hadn't had someone like, almost like a mentor saying, have a go, is there enough support for those that don't know where they're at? Maybe, as you said, club pros or youngsters that have just turned pro, but have, maybe they haven't got the ability or the sponsor to do any more and take that risk and take that sort of jump into being a touring pro or going for their card?
It's a real difficult question, because it's like, it is difficult, and like, you want everyone to have a chance to give it a go. Some circumstances you can't, and I guess I got lucky with that, and that's why I'm always grateful, because I got given that chance, and ended up to be able to sort of work my way up and be patient. Some other people might not have that time. I had a couple of years to sort of like sort of get a bit grounded on even the mini tours and stuff like that. I think there is something that maybe could happen. I know like America is different with the college golf, and I think that prepares a lot of the guys earlier. They go off to college, get a scholarship and stuff, so they've always got something to fall back on. If they don't, I find a lot in UK don't, and you can end up in a situation, it's like, what am I going to do next? And if you give golf a good push and you don't go to uni or anything, sometimes you could be sat there 3-4 years down the line thinking, what am I going to do? I haven't got any qualifications. Where am I going to fall into? At least
we see this a lot in football, don't we, as well? Certainly in this country, it's documented quite heavily. Yeah,
and that's why sometimes you look at the States and think, actually, their setup's really quite good, because at least they've got something to fall back on. They go college, go uni, get grades. So if it doesn't work out, they've got a plan B. I find UK can be tough, because you can end up like a bit lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to quickly talk about your Jamaican roots, which are, we know about. Do you go to Jamaica much? Do you see family out there?
I don't go too much. I've only been once. I went a couple of years ago. And I'd, funny enough, met an uncle I'd never met before. Uncle never met, and stayed with him for a couple of nights. Which was really cool. He took us around everywhere, and showed. So it was really good to sort of meet some of the family and stuff. I had like cousins there I'd never met, and that. So
they would love to meet you. And do they? I mean, golf in Jamaica. Would you ever want to sort of highlight that and make it a bigger sport over there? I mean, because how is golf over there right now?
I think there's a big gap for it to improve, and it's something I'd definitely love to do. I know I've spoken to Jamaican Golf Association a couple of times, but again, it's timings. It's so hard. Like, the time it takes to play tournaments and travel with demand, it's difficult to fit everything in, but it's something definitely I want to set up for the future. 100%.
That'd be great.
Get out there and
I think you'd be a great ambassador.
Definitely, get a few more Jamaicans out on tour would be great.
I think it'd be really good. Good story. Now let's talk about your journey. You secured your European Tour card in 2012, and obviously you had that fantastic year in 2016 onwards to date. What in that period, those 4 years, what was that like? Was it a roller coaster? I mean, often for golfers it can be. When you're sort of moving from the Challenge Tour to the European Tour or whatever your path may have been. But what was yours like? It
was a roller coaster. As I said, got that tour card really quickly, unexpectedly. The tour was a bit of a funny stage at that year. A lot of tournaments that were scheduled didn't happen for some reason, so I didn't end up playing many tournaments that year. I think I only played about 14 tournaments that I actually got into. So lost it, went back to Challenge Tour, which I was fine by, because I was like, all right, I know I'm good enough to get the card again, so I can do it again. And then I had a shoulder injury, and I didn't know what it was. I got sort of misdiagnosed a couple times. And that year was, 2013 was hard, because I was almost trying to play catch up, and I managed just only to keep my Challenge Tour card that year, which would have been a bit of a nightmare. They're hard to get. You either go to the qualifying school, that's the only way you can really go through and get it, or you have an invite and you do well on invite. So chances are slim sometimes. So I didn't want to lose that, because that sort of, at least you've got somewhere to play for the season. You've got that place, and if you keep that, you can go and have another crack, try and get a card next year. So that was a tough year, and financially that was tough as well. I was sitting there, I was actually, funny enough, I was practicing in Portugal at the time, but I was sweating about Christmas and things like that. I was like, I ain't going to be able to buy any presents this year. But it was like, I kind of put all that money towards, go and practice to try and, have another good season next season. And I got into a European Tour event in South Africa, like last minute. I think I got told on the Sunday. So I literally had to fly, back from Portugal, went straight out to South Africa, made the cut there, which helped out for Christmas and stuff, which was good. And it kind of gave me a nice confidence, though, knowing that, hang on, I finished, I think, 20th or something like that. Hang on, I can go and play well in a European Tour event. So it kind of gave me good confidence and set me up well for 2014 going into that. And that was when the real breakthrough happened, winning the Scottish Challenge Tour, and then in France too. So setting that up and being able to finish winning the Order of Merit that year, again, was a big confidence boost going back onto European Tour. So it was a real good stepping stone for me, and that's why Challenge Tour is good, because it prepares you. 4 rounds of golf, it's competitive. Everyone's good, it doesn't matter what mini tour you're playing, Challenge Tour, European Tour, PGA, score's always low. You always got to play well, and that's one of the things. It doesn't matter, the standard's so high, any sort of pro form. So it's good prep for the tour.
Absolutely. And you talked about struggling and worrying about Christmas presents, but a few years later you obviously won a big check at Valderrama, the Open d'Espagne. What was that like?
Again, very surreal. It didn't cross my mind at all when I was playing. You're trying to win the trophy, and that's what you want to win. You want to win the trophies. It was never about the money, but when you see that coming into your bank account, it's not normal. It wasn't normal.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it wasn't normal, and I've never been one to like show off or anything like that. But it was nice to be able to go out and buy a big round of drinks for the boys or whatever, and stuff like that, or get my mum something and things like that. So that was key, and it's a nice feeling just to feel comfortable for a second. Hang on a minute, I'm not sweating about anything for a minute, which was a nice relief.
Absolutely. And the year before, the 2015 BMW PGA at Wentworth, wasn't it? You won a BMW. Have you still got the BMW?
No, I had to sell it. No, I just recently bought a car before, and that car was amazing. The M4 was incredible, and I was like, it's just not right to keep it right now.
You got a hole in one, didn't you?
Yeah.
So, that famous par 3, 10th hole,
It was funny, in practice, my caddy at the time, he said, pin's going to be there. So he was like, hit a few shots to it. And it was just perfect 7-iron. And I walked up, and it was exactly the same conditions. I didn't even have to say a word to him. I was just pulled the 7-iron out. And usually everyone comes off the 9th green and walks across, goes up by the green. For some reason, one of my friends stood by the tee box, and it did cross my mind. I was like, why is he standing there? and then obviously hit it straight in the hole. And I looked at him, and I just started running towards him. No idea what I was doing. And I was like, hang on a minute. And I was like, no. I kind of went chest bump like that. Like, just chest bump me and that was it. Yeah, just ended up doing that. It's just so random.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was absolutely brilliant. Well done. Now let's talk about the last sort of 6 months or so, because it's been difficult for you, hasn't it? You talked about in a blog your sort of mental health issues and how suddenly you did find it all quite difficult. What happened? What was the first time that you realised that it wasn't all going swimmingly?
I'd say even in the last few years, I'd have moments where I'd go absolutely mental, get like the pure rage about something. Just sometimes it gets too overwhelming, or you're traveling a lot, and it can really sort of wind me up in a way and stuff. And then obviously you calm down and you look at it in perspective and it's all good. And I think I've just had so much change in the last year. I just think it was just going to America and then having a change of mindset without even realising that my mindset had changed. And that playing 2016, after doing my Open, it was like I never had any expectations on myself. And all of a sudden that started to change. Went out to the States and I was expected to do well, and I felt like a lot of pressure coming my way to perform. And I come back after the States and I played Wentworth, played Open. I finished 20th in the events. And I come off just disgusted.
Really?
Yeah, not good enough. Why am I finished 20th? It's not good enough. I should be doing a lot better, this and that. And mindset had changed, where before I'd be like, all right, 20th, good week.
Yeah. I
was like, make a few adjustments, go again the next week.
So you've been really hard on yourself?
Really hard on myself, yeah. Got to practice more. You end up doing more, got to do this more, got to do this better. And it was just a complete, just sort of hammering myself like that, putting myself down, I guess. And forgetting where I'd come from or what happened, even realising what happened. Obviously, to go from, just as I say, just normal person from Friar Barnet to the next thing, having everyone shout beef, walking down 18 and having people come up. Even things I went for a lesson with Claude Harmon and anyway, got a rental car, parked up at the golf course, big yellow Ferrari sitting next to it, and they're like, they've gone, you've picked a good spot, parked next to Michael Jordan's car.
Oh my goodness.
Like this, I'm standing on the range, and Claude was like, do you want to meet him? I was like, yeah, I'd love to, obviously. So I walked up to one of the tees. As he's walking up, he's just gone, what's up, beef?
Wow.
And I was like, you what? Like this, and I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
These were the type of things that were happening, and I couldn't get my head around it. And so I started to put more pressure on myself, and I was just, as I said, normal person having this, and it was just it wasn't normal. And it kind of affected me without even knowing, realising what's going on, and you sort of lose your bearings of what's happening, what's going on, and you get caught up in this fairy tale sort of world almost. And then, last year, as I said, then a lot of change started to happen. And I think it was just, because of a lot of change and putting too much pressure on my golf, not being able to step back and take a minute to understand what's even happened, it just had a big effect. And I think the first time I realised was probably Portugal after the first round. I didn't have the best day and I was close to going home. I was just like, I want to get out of here. I'm done. And I stuck that tournament out and again, stuck a couple of others out. I come back to the hotel, South Africa, again, finished 27th, decent week. But I sat in a hotel room crying. Australia did the same thing. Until, fiance Jodes was like, we need to get you some help here. It's not right, what's going on? So, funny enough, get on well with Lee Westwood, get on well with Westie. She gets really well with Helen. And he said, maybe you should read this book. So we went, had a read of the book and stuff. And I thought Christmas would maybe sort of just deflect a bit of time, have some time off. Got back to the desert, still wasn't right. and that's when she said, like, I'm going to get in touch with Helen again, and spoke to them and said, like, maybe you should try, speak to these guys. And it's where I met psychologist Ben, and that was it. Yeah, they told me to take some time out. I didn't want to at the time, and I did, which was good. And we just, all of a sudden, it was like things started to just calm down. Speaking to him and understanding what happened was a big factor for me, because I didn't understand what was going on. Why was I being like that? And then we kind of peeled it all the way back from probably to, since Open, really, so 2016.
2016, that big year where,
you peel it all the way back, and it's like, all right, this has had an effect, this has had an effect. And if I go back, I wish I'd had Ben from there, psychologist from there.
To manage it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that sportsmen and women, there's such big highs and such big lows, aren't there?
Yeah.
And it's been so well documented over the last few years, and obviously you're one of the latest sportsmen to talk about it. But you're helping so many people, and you must have had so many people come up to you saying thank you so much for talking so honestly about your struggles.
Yeah, I have. I've had a few of the players come up, and I've sat there and chatted with them as well. And had a lot of people, all different walks of life, different jobs, whatever it is, sport, not sport and stuff, and had so many amazing comments, said like I can relate to it and stuff. And that's the thing, I think, the feeling of that you're not alone. And just because it doesn't matter what you do, what position you're in, everyone I think is vulnerable to it. And I think there's a lot of sports people, a lot of people just doing anything, just normal people will have an effect on it. And little things can really affect people. It just depends how their mind works and things like that. So I think it's good to talk about it, be open about it, and that's what's happened to me. And I'm not afraid to like keep quiet about it. That's what's happened. It's the truth. And I just think like if you tell the truth, you can't really go wrong. It's
great. It's refreshing, and also I think golf. I think we talk about it in football a lot. Rugby recently, cricket. It's we've talked about it a lot. Depression, mental health issues. Golf. Do we really talk about it much? Not really.
No, not too much, no.
But there will be lots of players that do struggle.
Yeah, definitely. I see it being very relatable to cricket. They're away for long periods of time.
You're on your own?
On your own, away from your family. You get looked at under the microscope. Any form of mistake might happen. You go through a bad patch, and it happens in all form of sport where I've had it. I've come off the golf course, and I was like, I've shot 2 over par, but I felt like I've played good golf. And it's like, same as cricket, they might make a couple errors, and all of a sudden, they're batting well, they get a couple of good deliveries that just happens, and they're out again for 1, 2, and stuff, and there's nothing you can do about it. But next thing, I might just go, you could have done this, you could have done that, and you got so much time in the evenings, you're away from family and stuff, you got so much time to think about it, and it would just nag at you, and it just nags. And I've sat there on flights thinking like, why have I played that shot there? Or how have I hit that shot then, at that moment? I might have hit 13 out of 14 fairways, but the one I missed was the wrong side in the water. And it's like, what? Of all of them, you start picking and it just sort of slowly just hammers your head. And and then like sometimes, media can get on people and say, he's finished, he's done, he's this and that, and you've got no idea what's happening. And it can get difficult. You're away from family, friends. Yeah.
So what advice would you give to anyone who perhaps feels that they're struggling a bit or under a lot of pressure, or is feeling a bit like you were, tearful, frustrated, even worse? What would you say to them?
To talk to someone, speak to it. Don't feel embarrassed by it, or don't feel like you have to keep it in, or because I think what I felt was, why am I feeling like that? Like, I'm absolutely blessed, got everything, like more than I could possibly ever want. So why am I feeling like that? And it's like, got to the stage where it's a bit like, should I be feeling like that? Is this normal? Am I sort of making this up in my head? That's what it was like. And I think like you've got to just speak to someone, because it is, and that's what I say. It doesn't matter what you have, what you've got, what position you're in. It can sort of happen to anyone at any time. And I think that's the idea of perspective, and being level-headed, I think, is the key. And I think it's just to chat to someone, whether it's family or friends or a psychologist or someone you can go and speak to. I think is the most important. And one, get it off your chest, and then it's someone to help you understand what you're going through, because everyone's will be different. Everyone will have different feelings, different journeys. So I think definitely just to be open about it, because it's not embarrassing. It doesn't make you less of a person, and that's just life.
Because there is that bizarre thing that men are meant to be very strong and not show weakness, and that's been talked about a lot in the press, hasn't it, in the last few years, because men really do and can suffer with depression, because there is so much often expected of them.
Definitely, I think it is that like sort of you're not supposed to be you're supposed to be tough, you're supposed to say this and that, and it's like just normal people at the end of the day. It doesn't have any relevance to being how tough you are if you're open to speak about something and say, like, this is my journey, this is what I've been through, and someone will turn around and be like, well, it's my journey, this happened at a different time in my life as well. And I think I'd say it's a lot higher percentage of people can relate to that than people keeping things in. I think keeping stuff in, it does have bigger effect, because then you feel more like you can't say anything. And I think women too. I think keeping stuff in, you can't say certain things because you're embarrassed to say it or whatnot, or you feel like, it's stupid. It's really not.
Well, it's brilliant that Ben Davies has helped you. And just quickly to round up on that, do you just speak to him now and again now, and are you feeling much better? You seem brilliant to me.
It's definitely, I'm in a really good place now. Like I said, I hit the low, I'd say probably, around sort of December, January, February time and stuff. And it took all the way through till, I'd say like May time. And that to finally sort of understand, get my head around it. I speak to him probably once every 2 weeks. He's come out to a couple of tournaments as well. And it's not even about just golf. It's about like managing life as well, and that day to day. So it's not just about going out and having the right mental game for golf, but having perspective in life as well. And like that's what I think, keeping your feet on the ground and having that perspective is great. And like I'm really lucky, to have a fiance like Jo's to help out as well. She's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, she's great. It's great to have her around, isn't it? And you've just celebrated your 30th, haven't you? Not long ago.
Oh, I was 30 in February,
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So it's all happening, and you're expecting a baby with Jodie, which is wonderful.
Yeah, that's going to be incredible. I mean, I'm so excited.
So you've got lots going on. It's all very, very exciting. Excited about being a dad.
Yeah, lots to learn. I've got a few books to read. I bought
I'll
a few
give you
books.
some tips. Well, I don't know if that's good. 2 boys. No, it's wonderful. It's life-changing, and I'm sure you've got lots of friends and who've got children. Have you?
Yeah, I've got some friends who've got children and stuff, and you speak to everyone, and everyone says the same thing. It's the best thing ever, and we're just really looking forward to it.
There's loads going on. And how do you get away from golf? What other things do you like to do in your spare time? I know you like football.
Massive sport, massive sport fan. Anything, football, boxing, cricket. So I'm always following that. Music.
I've seen you at Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly.
At Emirates, obviously. What do you think of Unai Emery?
I think he's really good. I think he's done a great job last season. I think the club have really got to back him this season. I think to come in after Wenger's been there for a long time, it's difficult to change things straight away. It takes time. And I thought he'd done a really good job. I thought some of the games they played, they were brilliant. And you could see the difference the way they were playing. It's going to take time, but I think the club really got to back him with transfers and the players he wants.
And you mentioned music. What kind of music are you into?
I'm a big hip-hop fan.
Hip-hop,
so
brilliant.
try and get to a few gigs, concerts and stuff like that.
Who at the moment is the one, who do you really enjoy listening to?
Oh, it's been big. Action Bronson's one of my favourite. Again, it's like mad. What happened. We went to one of the gigs a few years ago, and one of my friends, he turned around and just said to security guard when it finished, like, "Where's the after party action? Bronson knows this guy," and he points at me, and he told the security guard to go and tell him that Beef was here, and I was like, "I don't know him." I was like, "What are you doing?" I said to him, I was like, "This is embarrassing." And next thing, security come on through, I've gone down, and he's actually sitting there like, "What's up, Beef? What's going on?" And he's just like, "What is going on? Like, what is happening here?" And yeah, so I'm a big fan of his music. Yeah, he talks a lot about food, I guess, so we've got something to relate to.
Would you mind doing our Hilton quick 9?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Right, ready? First thing in your suitcase.
Pants.
Favourite club in the bag.
Driver.
Where was your last holiday?
New York.
Favourite hole in golf? Ooh, difficult one.
Postage stamp.
One place on your bucket list.
Oh.
Anything you want to see, do?
Oh. Tokyo.
Tokyo, yeah, me too, actually. Best shot you've ever hit?
Ah. I have to be back when junior days. I remember hitting a 3-iron off like some path. And now, yeah, through a gap in the trees, yeah.
Whereabouts, do you remember?
It was, is it Hollingwell, of course? Up there, like Nottingham way. Yeah.
Brilliant.
It was the Jack Lee's amateur trophy thing, yeah. I just remember, I was like, it's match play, and I was like, well, there's no point chipping out sideways. I was like, I'll go for it and hit it through this gap. It ended up on the green. I just don't know how it ever got there.
Brilliant, brilliant. If you weren't a golfer, what would you be?
I'd love to do something in sport, anything. I'm sport mad. So.
Not a hip-hop artist?
No, can't sing, can't rap. No, only in the car. Yeah.
Footballer?
Nah, I was never good at football.
So what other sport would you do?
I guess, if I could pick, football. Yeah, football, cricket, something like that.
Cricket, yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Rump, sirloin or fillet?
We got it all wrong. It's got to be a porterhouse.
Porterhouse. And by the way, I've got to ask you, have you still got your 58-degree wedge? Tell people about that quickly.
Yeah, of course, still got it. I got it stamped. I think it was US Open I got it stamped there with all different cuts of meat on it. I wanted to do something a bit fun, and it went crazy about it. Everyone went mad.
I love that. And finally, who would make up your dream 4-ball, dead or alive?
Oh, Muhammad Ali. I have to be Will Ferrell. And I like a good laugh around the course. Yeah, I'd say Big John as well, Daly.
John
I'd say,
Daly,
yeah, I think
yes.
it'd be a great 4-ball. That.
We like that friendship.
Yeah.
So talking about, it does amaze me as we're talking how you feel amazed at how people know your name. Like you mentioned Michael Jordan as well. You are very well known, Andy. Still can't call you Beef. So weird, I can't call you Beef. But no, John Daly, let's talk about John Daly, because you struck up a bit of a friendship with him. How did that sort of start? We just saw him at a few tournaments, got chatting and stuff, and I played with him at the Dunhill in one of the groups, and that was it. Yeah, we just become mates. He invited us for dinner one night, and went to dinner, got to know him, and then ended up Turkey a few years ago. We finished on the Sunday, and we started having a drink. Oh.
And that was bad news for me, I must say, yeah.
Was it a big night?
Oh my God,
John, is he really a party animal?
Yeah.
John, is he?
Yeah.
We hear these stories, and I've met him a few times, but I haven't interviewed him. And you just wonder, is he quite as big a character as he sounds like he is?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he is. But the thing behind it is that he's such a good guy as well. And they always care, and he sent me a couple messages saying, like, you ever want to speak, chat, just let me know.
That's nice. And
stuff, if you're ever over in the States, just, give me a call, meet up, play some golf and stuff like that. Spent a bit with him a bit of time with him in Tampa when I was over there a couple of years ago, and that we'll practice a bit together, play and stuff. And he's just a really nice guy, and like, yeah, I think he's been through a lot in his life, and he's seen it, been there, sort of done it and stuff. So you can get some real good advice off him.
Yeah, it's nice for you to have that support, isn't it?
Yeah.
And just talking of sort of well-known people around golf, I mean, have you played with the likes of Justin Timberlake, obviously a massive golf fan? Have you played with him yet?
No, I was supposed to.
Were you?
A few years ago after Pebble Beach, I got in touch. Well, I ended up meeting Kunal, a guy who played Raj from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
And he's just a great lad. And yeah, we got in touch, and I spent a week after Pebble in LA, and he said, "Oh, come play my home course." And so I went down, had a game with him and Carlton for Fresh Prince, Alfonso.
Brilliant.
And Justin was supposed to play that day, but he couldn't make it. So the three of us played. We had such a laugh, and yeah, we got looked after when we went over to Delhi for Indian tournament. His cousin looked after us and stuff. Went for dinner with him. Yeah, Rohan, what a guy, as well, and that. And so we all keep in touch and.
Yeah, fantastic.
And stuff. So yeah, they're proper good lads, and that. I haven't seen him for ages. I need to catch up with him at some point. But obviously him being LA side, and then he comes over a bit here, and that. But we always just miss each other. Yeah.
No, brilliant. No, golf brings so many brilliant sort of people together, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Always
they're
has
top
done.
guys. Yeah.
So what does the future golf-wise hold for you? You must be pleased with your form right now. You're coming back into some form. Great Scottish Open finish. The Open by a whisker, just missed that. What are you doing over the summer?
We've got a few weeks off now, so we're going to head away on holiday for a bit, chill out, and then it's busy in the season, starting from Prague. So, yeah, Czech Masters is the next one, and there's a hell of a lot of tournaments to play. So just keep doing what I'm doing. Game's trending in the right direction, and that. So yeah, head's good. So yeah,
sounds good.
Everything's in a good place, nice steady place, and that's the idea. It's just to keep ticking along, not to put pressure on myself to perform, just let it come. And as I've worked on, it's just to play golf, enjoy it, not expect anything, not to put pressure on myself to expect, and what will be. If tournaments go well, great. If not, so be it. And just keep going, having that attitude like that, put the work in, go and play.
Yeah, and then a little baby coming along soon.
Yeah, can't wait.
That'll take some of the attention away as well, naturally, but it'd be wonderful.
Yeah, it's so exciting. Like, we had a scan earlier this week, and we're not going to find out
what the sex is.
No, what the sex is. And they said it was one of the moments where it's like, would you like to know? And I was like, yeah, no, we're waiting. Like
what
that.
did Jodie think? Was she?
We're both waiting,
yeah,
and it's just something. I think it'd be cool to just wait and see what happens and stuff. And like, she's starting to feel baby move and stuff like that. It's crazy what's going on, and it's just so cool. And anything like, it's such an interesting perspective look at, because anything like that, it doesn't matter about anything else. It just matters about that.
Yeah. Oh, you're starting to well up again. Oh no, thank you so much. So lovely. Good luck with everything.
Cheers.
Thank you for talking to us.
To watch another European Tour video, click here. Or to subscribe, click here.